Hey Reunion, it's Matt, and if you don't know me, I'm the executive pastor here at Reunion. As we enter 2023, I want to reflect a bit on 2022 and give you an update as to where we are as a church community. It's been well documented that Reunion experienced a lot of change and transition in the past few years. Not only did we not meet for 18 straight months because of COVID, we had a number of staff step away or move away. In light of the amount of staff transitions and assessing the long-term health of our church, our leadership made the difficult decision at the end of 2021 to consolidate our South End and Quincy locations into Reunion Metro. Our options as to where to meet were limited at the beginning of 2022. Due to COVID, Boston Public Schools and many other venues would not allow any outside renters, and we had trouble finding a good location that was also financially viable for us. I was honestly pretty anxious about the whole situation and prayed desperately for God to provide something for us. And he did with the Omni Parker House. The Omni Parker House not only offered us an accessible location, but also gave us a good rate that was even slightly cheaper than what we were paying previously in the South End. They even gave us some storage within the hotel, which is pretty unheard of in this day and age. And we started Reunion Metro in late February of 2022. I know it's not the perfect location. Parking can be a little bit challenging at times, but it has definitely been a gift and we are grateful. We have been able to alleviate some of the parking challenges with a partnership at a nearby garage. Although we can rent again at Boston Public Schools, we don't have plans to move anytime soon. As we have experienced, moving and changing locations is really difficult, and consistency and stability is really important to us right now. We are committed to being in downtown Boston, and we're finding that people from all over Boston are able to connect with us because of how close we are to all the different T lines. Our north location moved as well, although a much shorter distance to the renovated Crystal Ballroom in the Somerville Theater. We're also really thankful for that space as it's greatly decreased our setup time and it's better suited for our community. Our rent is increasing in 2023 for the first time in like 11 years, but we are committed to staying where we are. As we gathered back together in 2022, we weren't the same size church as we were before the pandemic. And if we're being honest, we were in a fragile state. There are a lot of unknowns after such a disruption. We saw many other churches around us not survive. And I was prepared that we would operate in the red this year, and we had some money saved up for this type of situation. As we headed into December, it seemed likely that we would have a deficit at the end of the year. And if you were a regular giver at Reunion this year, you should have received an email from me about year-end giving. And I want to update you on, and also thank you for closing the year on such a strong note. We were able to meet budget this year and actually finish the year in the black. Our total giving this year was $446,000, and our expenses was $444,000. And this doesn't include the $12,000 we raised for Project Hope Boston in our Advent offering. I'm really thankful to God for providing for our community this past year, especially in a season of transition and uncertainty. Thanks to all of you for supporting our church and community. I do want to mention that we received substantial gifts from people in the broader community who believe in the work and mission of Reunion. Those generous gifts really allowed us to operate in the black this year. As an update, as we head into 2023, we have a total equity of $232,000 saved up. And I will be sharing a full year-end report in a couple of weeks with more details on the financial health of the church. I also want to acknowledge that through all the challenges and transition over the past few years, God has shown us that he is not done with Reunion. Part of me sharing today is to let you know that we are here and we're committed to being here. And I really love this community that we are creating. We are in a rebuild and we're still in a fragile place, but as we build this community slowly together, I believe God has been using Reunion to be a place for hospitality. The English word for hospitality originates from the same Latin root as the word hospital. A hospital is literally a home for strangers. Of course, today it has come to mean a place of healing. There is a link between being welcomed and being healed. And hospitality is what our city and community is craving. Spaces of welcome where strangers, outsiders, and others can heal. We've had a number of amazing people join our community this past year. And when I talk with them, most of them talk about how Reunion has been a welcoming community and safe place for those who don't have it all figured out. And I just want to welcome all of you who are new to the community. I'm so glad and excited that you're here. When I think about helping people find their way back to God, I think about creating spaces where people feel at home. When you feel at home, you become free to be yourself. You relax, you get comfortable, you want to stay, and you want to talk about what really matters. What I noticed most of all this year is that people are so hungry for hope and for good news. From hosting my Alpha group, where we invited people to ask the hard questions about faith, to Theology Crawl, to group chat events, there's a real hunger to talk about what really matters. And so as we move into 2023, thank you so much for being a part of this community. Your presence matters. Hospitality begins with you. We do need help in all areas, from kids to worship to leading a community group. We all need to pitch in to help create spaces for people to heal and to be at home. We would love for you to join us in what God is doing in this community this year. So my prayer is that we would gather purposefully, connect deeply, and serve selflessly this year. If you have any questions or want to chat more, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks, Reunion.